When most people hear NFT, they think of digital art, pixel avatars, and speculative collectibles. And while that's how NFTs first captured attention, that's not where their story ends. It's where it begins. NFTs are evolving into something far greater, tools for proving ownership, identity, and authenticity across both digital and physical worlds. In this video, we'll explore the future of NFTs, how they're moving beyond collectibles and reshaping the very concept of assets in our everyday lives. The first NFT wave around 2020 and 2021 was all about art and collectibles. Projects like CryptoPunks and Bored Ape Yacht Club made headlines, selling for staggering prices and turning NFTs into cultural icons. But the real legacy of that era wasn't the art. It was the infrastructure. Those projects helped build the tools, marketplaces, and awareness that set the stage for what's coming next. Today, developers are using that same technology to build systems that go far beyond profile pictures, using NFTs to represent ownership of things that actually matter in the real world. At its heart, an NFT is just a unique token on a blockchain, a digital certificate that says this item belongs to this person. That concept can be applied to almost anything: a piece of music, a car title, a real estate deed, or even a diploma. Because NFTs live on decentralized blockchains like Ethereum, they can't be forged, duplicated, or erased. They create a single, verifiable record of ownership that anyone can check instantly. In a world filled with digital copies and online transactions, that kind of verifiable uniqueness is incredibly powerful. It's what turns NFTs from a trend into a fundamental layer of digital trust. One of the biggest steps forward for NFTs is the tokenization of real-world assets, often called RWAs. This means representing physical items as NFTs on the blockchain. For example, imagine owning a luxury watch, a property, or a piece of art. But instead of paper documents, your proof of ownership is an NFT in your wallet. This makes transferring ownership faster, cheaper, and more transparent. You could sell part of an asset, say 10% of a building or a rare collectible, to investors around the world, all handled through NFTs. It's a new way to make traditionally illiquid assets accessible, and it opens the door to fractional ownership, something nearly impossible in traditional markets. Real estate is one of the most promising real-world use cases for NFTs. In traditional property transactions, you need endless paperwork, middlemen, and legal verification. But NFTs could simplify this drastically. A property's title could be represented by an NFT, with its history, ownership, and even legal contracts stored on-chain. Transfer the NFT, and you've effectively transferred the property rights instantly, without waiting for weeks of processing. While regulations are still catching up, early projects are already experimenting with tokenized homes and land. In the near future, buying or selling property might be as simple as sending a transaction on Ethereum. The financial world is also beginning to merge with NFTs through tokenized assets and collateralization. You could use NFTs that represent real-world items, like invoices, bonds, or property deeds, as collateral for loans in decentralized finance platforms. This connects blockchain innovation directly to real-world economic activity. It's what people call the bridge between TradFi and DeFi, traditional finance and decentralized finance. And NFTs are the key link in that bridge, turning real assets into programmable, liquid, blockchain-based instruments. Beyond ownership, NFTs can also represent who you are. Imagine your digital identity, not just a username and password, but a verified, portable NFT that proves your achievements, memberships, or certifications. You could have NFTs for your university diploma, your professional licenses, or your participation in online communities, all securely stored in your Ethereum wallet. Unlike centralized databases, you fully control your credentials. You decide what to share And when this concept, known as soulbound tokens or identity NFTs, could redefine how reputation and identity work online. Gaming has always been a natural fit for NFTs. Players already value digital assets, like skins, weapons, and collectibles, but those items usually belong to the game developer, not the player. NFTs change that by giving players true ownership of in-game items that can be sold, traded, or used across different games. This creates open gaming economies, where players participate not just for fun, but as stakeholders. The same idea extends to entertainment. Music, film, and sports industries are exploring NFTs for tickets, fan rewards, and collectible experiences, connecting creators directly to their audiences. One of the biggest barriers to NFT adoption has been cost and scalability. Ethereum transactions, especially during peak times, can be expensive, but that's changing quickly with Layer 2 networks like Polygon, Arbitrum, and zk-Sync, which allow faster, cheaper transactions while still anchored to Ethereum's security. These technologies are making NFTs more practical, whether for small transactions, large-scale gaming, or real-world business applications. Combined with better user interfaces and wallet tools, the NFT experience is becoming seamless, ready for mainstream adoption. The next generation of NFTs will focus less on speculation and more on utility. The question won't be, can I flip this for profit? But rather, what can this NFT do for me? We'll see NFTs tied to real-world contracts, financial instruments, identity systems, and access permissions. They'll be used for car titles, concert tickets, academic records, and even healthcare data. All verifiable on the blockchain. NFTs will quietly become the backbone of how we manage ownership and authenticity in the digital world. No hype, just function. So the future of NFTs isn't just about collectibles. It's about connection, verification, and real-world value. From digital art to real estate, from gaming to finance, NFTs are becoming the digital keys that link our online and offline lives. What began as a creative experiment is evolving into the infrastructure for the tokenized world, the future where everything of value, from assets to identity, can be owned, traded, and verified on the blockchain. That's the future of NFTs, and it's already being built.